Welcome back. It's another playthrough series. This time the deck builder Thunderstone Advance. And I will be using the Worlds Collide rules. And I will be doing a solitaire playthrough. The solitaire rules have changed slightly from the original Thunderstone Advance, which was Towers of Ruin, I think. Which I have all of the cards except for Numenera. I don't really care for the Numenera, so I didn't bother getting it, but I do have the rest. And I'm just going to use the randomizer cards to generate a random setup instead of going for one of the predetermined ones. And so I have shuffled the cards pretty thoroughly, and there's a lot of cards when you have a lot of decks. And so we're going to need 8 village cards. These are the village randomizer cards. So I will just start pulling them off. First is a spell, Rolling Sparks. Okay, and that will go over here in the spell area. The second one off the top is the Seed Bomb. Magic attack +2, so it gives you information on it. It's a weapon, so I guess it's a grenade, Seed Bomb. So that's going to go over in the weapon space, and I will put out the cards for these afterwards. And for, we have a villager, and it's the stable hand. Village dungeon, destroy a card in your discard pile. Village, destroy this card to place your deck in the discard pile. Okay, so that's our villager. Number 4, we have another villager, the opportunist. And village, destroy a regular, torch, and longsword to gain 2 gold, discard this card. Or the village, destroy this card to gain an experience point. Alright. That is 4. Number 5. Wow, 3 villagers. We have the Smuggler. Destroy this card after the player loses a combat. Buy a card. And village, destroy a card with a gold value 1 or higher to gain 4 gold. So we can no longer have any more villagers because we have 3 of them already. So if we pull another villager randomly, we discard it. We want a total of 8 cards. Okay, we have the Blessed Hammer, another weapon. Magic attack +4. Wow. Dungeon, place the monster in rank 1 on the bottom of the dungeon deck. Refill the hall. Okay, I'm not going to play with this card because the solo rules tell you not to use cards that rearrange the dungeon order or place things on the deck. So we're going to skip that one. We're going to go to another one. And we get the Tauren Gauntlet. It's an item, and it looks... Dungeon says add magic attack +2, strength 2 to a hero. You may consider that hero to be equipped with a magic weapon. Wow, very cool. So it's an item, and that's our first item. So now we have 3, 4, 5, we have 6, 2 more. Here we have a weapon, a blunt, the Dwarven Bear Hammer, and physical attack +3. Dwarf heroes of any strength may equip this, so that's cool. That's our weapon. And last up is going to be the Flaming Sword, +3 attack, so another weapon. So we have 1 spell, 3 weapons, an item, and 3 villagers. So let me readjust the camera and we'll get to which heroes we're going to be playing with for the playthrough. Okay, and next up we need to choose 4 heroes. And we're just going to go, again, the top of the very large randomizer hero deck. And our first hero is going to be the Divine Human Cleric. The Cleric has physical attack. He puts disease cards to work and has some good tricks with monster cards. The randomizer cards tell you a little bit about what you're going to get as far as hero abilities. So we're going to have the Divine. We are also going to have the Spell Sword. He's an elf fighter. This fighter has physical attack. He gains magic attack if magic weapons, magic items, and magic spells are present. So that's pretty cool. Our third hero is going to be the Pattern Mage. So we have a Human Wizard. This wizard has magic attack. She lets you look at cards on top of your deck and discard some of them. Okay, well, that's going to be her ability. And lastly, for our 4 heroes, we have the Deep Strider, which is one of the cards that we're not supposed to use on a solo game because he ends up rearranging monsters in the dungeon. So we're going to skip him. We're going to go to the next one. And we have the Black Hand. Human Thief. This thief has physical attack. Level 1, he allows you to quickly use cards you buy in the village. At higher levels, he gains physical attack when other heroes are around. Okay. So those are going to be our 4 heroes. Now I put out the stacks of cards for our village decks. There are 8 cards in each stack. And with the heroes, there are slightly more. There are 6 first levels. There are 4 second level heroes and 2 third levels. I'm also using the Into the Abyss expansion, which adds some 4th level characters into the mix, but I don't believe any of the actually the Divine, I think, has a 4th level character for it, because the Worlds Collide heroes and the Into the Abyss heroes have 4th level. The other expansions and the base game Towers of Ruin do not. Alright, those are the heroes. Next up, let's see which monsters we're going to face, and then we'll conclude the setup. So I won't go over too many details of how to play. You will see how the game plays as we play. So let's get to finding out the level 1, level 2, and level 3 monsters we're going to face. Okay, so likewise, I have all of the monster randomizer cards. We're looking for 1 level 1, 1 level 2, and 1 level 3, and there are 10 monsters in each of the levels. So let's just have a look. First one, a level 3. So we're going to be fighting the Djinn, the Freet. Each kind of Djinn is immune to a specific class, and it uses the Curses deck. So we're going to have to put the Curses out. So that's going to be our level 3 villain, or enemy. This is our level 2 is going to be Giants. It says Giants destroy heroes with low strength as battle effects. Okay, that's not great. That's our level 2. And is this a level 1? It's a level 2. We're looking for a level 1. A level 1. And it is the Chirrupted Humanoids. This level 1 monster sometimes require you to reveal a card from the top of your deck. They can be more difficult to defeat based on the card's gold cost. Some are ambushers. So those are going to be, that's our first, second, and third level monsters that we're going to be facing. And how you create your dungeon deck, which is up at the top here, is you take all of the cards from the 3, there's 10 cards in each, shuffle them all together. You take 10 cards from that, and you mix in a Thunderstone bearer. And so, of course, the next thing we need to do is we have to determine who our Thunderstone bearer is going to be. So let me grab that deck, and we'll shuffle them and randomly grab one. Okay, so these are all of the, these are not randomizers, these are the actual Thunderstone bearers that come with the expansions I have so far, except for Numenera. And we're just going to grab one, and here it is. This is going to be our Thunderstone bearer. He's the big bad person we're trying to take down at the very end. And he is unpronounceable. He is Obmok Icor King. Oh, that's lovely. And global effect. Whenever a player discards a card before the end of the turn, destroy that card. Wow, that's pretty nasty. And so he has a shield of 12, which means we have to generate 12 attack. And yeah, I guess that's not too terrible. But he's going to be shuffled into the bottom 11 cards of our monster deck. So I'm going to go ahead and generate that monster deck. Put it up here. I'm going to put the curses out as well. And then we have some final setup to do. And then I think we're going to be ready to go. Okay, so I've created the monster deck, and I put out the pile of curses, which are randomly shuffled. And to complete setup, they have changed a little bit in Worlds Collide. You put out 3 regulars per player into the regular pile. So there's 3. You put in 2 long spears on the long spear pile per player, and 1 torch per player over here for basic cards. All right, I'm also using, because I'm using the Into the Abyss, I am using experience tokens that are all different colors. So I will be using that in the game. I'm not using familiars, just to let you know. So what do the different colors do? Well, it's pretty cool effects. If you want to spend a blue experience, you can draw a card. If you want to spend a gray one, destroy a card. Green is add a magic attack +1. Orange, gain 2 gold. Red, add physical attack +1. And yellow is add light +1. So pretty interesting effects. that you can have once you gain experience. As I said, I'm not going to go over all the details of how to play the game. You'll see as we play. I suppose I can show you kind of one thing. I'll show you a hero here quickly. You have his strength is right here. The cost to purchase him is here. And of course his abilities are written, and it tells you the level, Human Cleric level 1 at the top. So that's a character. If we look at a weapon has a gold value when you're in the village for spending. That's where gold values show up. The 6 is the strength you need to wield it. And of course, unless you're a dwarf, is a special text below. And it costs 4 gold to purchase. And it has physical attack +3. So that's kind of anatomy of a card. Very quickly, you'll see that as happens. And now for our starting hand. The starting hand is going to consist of 2 long spears, 6 regulars, and regulars are just physical attack 1. But if you equip a polearm, a long spear, to them when you're in the dungeon, you can draw an extra card. So you get 6 of those. You get 2 Thunderstone shards, which are worth 1 gold value. You can't purchase them in the game. You just get them as part of your starting hand. In dungeon, 1 hero gains strength +2. And spoils. Spoils mean when you defeat a creature, monster in the dungeon, you'll get 1 experience point from if you have the Thunderstone shard in your hand. And you get 2 torches, and torches provide light. It's this little fiery ball looking symbol in this part of the card, and light plays a part when you go into the dungeon, because the dungeon has darkness levels. I also say I'm using the wilderness side of the board, just slightly easier to play. And in solitaire rules, the monsters will come out and push their way down until they fall off the end, or escape, I guess, from the wilderness and go into a pile, and that's going to be negative points against me at the end of the game. The game ends when the Thunderstone Bearer gets to rank 1 or I defeat him. And then we add up points, see who has the most, me or the game. And I think pretty much that is going to sum it up. However, then next video I'm just going to start getting into it. It is just a deck builder. So you're going to shuffle your basic hand. I show you your 12 cards. You're going to draw 6 cards. And you're going to have 4 options. You're either going to go to the village and purchase one thing, be it a hero or a villager or a weapon. If you have the gold to do so, you can go to the dungeon, which then you're fighting one of the monsters that comes out, and we'll show you how that works as we play. You can do something called resting, which means you can just take 1 card in your 6 cards that you draw, destroy it, and discard the rest of your cards. That's the end of your turn. And you also have something called prepare. You can take any of the cards of the 6 cards in your hand and stick them on top of your deck and discard the other cards. Then your turn ends, and that's called preparing. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time when I get into Thunderstone Advance, Worlds Collide, plus a bunch of other expansions with the colored experience tokens, which should add a little bit of an interest to the game because you can spend them for different effects. Oh, and you can only spend 1 on your turn. You can't spend a whole handful of them as well. So I think that's it. Next time I said we're just going to get right into the turns. I'll try to go fairly quickly because the game can last a little while, and that'll be it. All right, thanks for watching. Join me next time for the opening turns of Thunderstone Advance.